Okay, so many of us don't even know what thoughts are or what our brain is telling us. Like those nagging, fearful, negative, very rarely positive sentences are thoughts. Yes. No, they're not fact, contrary to what most of us like to believe. Like imagine that there's two people living with you. Let's take me, for example. So I, Rallo, and there is my mind. Let's call her Jessie. And Jessie loves to stay in her comfort zone. She likes to keep things the way that they are, and she bases all her information on the past. She works really, really hard to give me all the information that will keep me stuck because, after all, that's her main function comfort. She can have a very loud and angry and scary voice. And the things that she tells me most of the time seem so real. And so I usually take them as facts. So I start acting on them as if they're truths, even though most of the time the result that I get are the opposite of what I want them to be. So because it's something that I'm so familiar with, I just keep her around and I keep the thoughts around. And strangely enough, she makes me feel safe. Whenever I tell her differently, I put different thoughts in her brain by giving her, these all these different sentences. She always has a way of bringing me back to what I'm familiar with. I mean, after all, no matter how scary it is, where I'm at, the unknown is even scarier. So I practice looking at her as and listening to her as if she is that nagging friend who I don't know how to tell that I no longer want to be friends with. So I keep her seeing her for coffee. Except Jessie, I can't really tell her off because she gets pissed off and she comes back with even more thoughts. So what I do is just I let her speak her mind and I put no emotions into what she's saying. Like I try to build this wall between me and her, which I call putting up some sort of boundaries. At first it was scary because you felt like I needed to listen to her and to do everything that she told me because that is what would keep me alive. But with time I started to sort out the facts from the thoughts. And that's when I took back my power. And yes, okay, she's there to protect me, but sometimes she can be a little too much. So I need her to calm down so I can calm down. Creating a oneness within myself helped us bond differently, where I no longer see her as my enemy, but as my nagging friend. Okay, sometimes friend. Together now we can coexist.